Rating your orders. Every day I'm going to pick out one order from either my UK or EU sample website, visionaryfragrances.com, and I'm going to rate the order and tell you what I think of each fragrance. So for this video, I have an order from Oscar from Denmark, and we're going to rate his order. He's ordered 6 fragrance samples, starting off with Nishane Anie X. This is from the new X series by Nishane, which I think marks 10-year anniversary of the fragrance releases. Now, this whole series did take me by surprise a little bit because I thought they were going to be heavier, more concentrated, stronger versions of their predecessors, but they're actually easier to wear and lighter in most occasions. Now, Nishane Anie X is a beautiful fragrance like its predecessor, but doesn't have as many similarities as you might expect. It's still a spicy, vanilla dominant fragrance, but this focuses more on the citrus note. So you have this beautiful citrus opening. It's very bright and airy, and it stays bright and airy for a longer time before it transitions into the spicy vanilla background. Nishane Anie X is perfectly unisex. I could see this be worn by a male or female in any sort of circumstance. It's not geared towards winter or summer or casual, office, formal, going out. It's very versatile. It just smells really airy and very well put together. Lots of fruits in the opening mixed with ginger and spices before you get to that delicate, airy vanilla dry down. Sample number 2 is Argos Triumph. This is a very rich, sweet, and heavy fragrance. It's very complex. As you can see by the color of the juice, when you have a fragrance that looks like this, you know it's going to be a very complex and dark fragrance. This reminds me in some aspects of fragrances like Red Tobacco and Parfums de Marly Carlisle, but it does go in a different direction after the opening. And as I've been wearing it more and more and becoming more familiar with the fragrance, I've realized that there are more differences than similarities. This is very sweet and heavy. This is not a fragrance that you're going to want to wear every day. This is one that I would wear when I'm going out, or I want something heavier in the winter, the colder months, or something if you go into a place with lots of people and lots of people are wearing fragrances and you want something different, you want something that will try and stand out and cut through the other smells around you. I think Argos Triumph will do that very well because it's so sweet, but because of the sweetness, it's not something I would want to wear every day. Rum, peach, apple with tobacco and vanilla. Very sweet, very spicy, and a beautiful, complex fragrance. This is Argos Triumph. Up next, one of the best designer fragrances ever released. This is Dior Homme Parfum. This is probably one of the best designer fragrances ever released. This smells like a high quality niche fragrance. It can be quite hard to get hold of if you're in the UK or in America, but in Europe it's quite easy to find. You just order it from the Dior website. So if you're in the UK, try looking on the Dior website and see if you can find it. I have also picked up bottles of this from the airport when I'm traveling back from the UK to Europe. This has 2 different sides to it. It's light and dark at the same time. It's the transition from light to dark. Opens up with this beautiful orange note. It's kind of juicy and sparkly in the opening, and then you get this formal iris note which runs through the whole life of the fragrance and runs through the whole life of the Dior Homme line. It's very formal and professional, and as it goes further into the dry down, you get leather and oud. Oud is a note that you can't really pick up in this. I certainly can't pick it up very well, but it's a listed note, and it perhaps gives the fragrance some backbone and give it some strength and make this just a bit darker than fragrances like Dior Homme Original and Dior Homme Intense. This is quite difficult to pull off. It's not an easy to wear fragrance. It's one I only wear when I'm dressed up nicely because it doesn't sit very casual to me, but it's really strong and smells like one of the most expensive fragrances you could ever find. This is fantastic, and if you're into fragrances in any way, you need to try this Dior Homme Parfum. From Louis Vuitton is in this order as well. We have La Immensity and we have Pacific Chill. La Immensity is a really professional fragrance. Some people say it smells a bit like Bleu de Chanel. I don't really find that. I think it doesn't smell like a blue fragrance to me. It just smells like a more of a formal, professional fragrance. This is grapefruit, ginger, and ambroxan. The ambroxan gives this a lot of carry, so you get a nice bit of projection with this. Not that it's a beast mode fragrance or anything. You just get a nice bit of projection, and it works similar to the other Louis Vuitton fragrances. And what they do on my skin especially is they really project and radiate quite nicely. They don't really sit close to the skin. There are ingredients in the Louis Vuitton fragrances which make them project a lot. This projects a lot, smells really classy and professional. If you're a businessman wearing a suit going to work, let's say you work in a bank or something, you're a CEO of a company, you're just a professional business person, this is a fragrance I would choose to wear. This is fantastic, smells ultra high quality and well put together. Pacific Chill is an entirely different fragrance to Lamenty. This has more similarities to Imagination to me. Not that it smells exactly like Imagination. There are just some similarities, and because they're made by the same fragrance house, there's no reason not to think that there are some crossover of notes. This is very fruity, almost has like a tropical fruit style vibe to it. Like, imagine you are smelling a kiwi fruit. That's how this sort of smells to me. This also has some herbal notes like basil, so you get this herbaceous, spicy quality as well. So very fruity, but not in a citrus way, more of like a kiwi fruit. This smells like you're on holiday. This is a great summertime fragrance, and one I'll be wearing a lot this summer. Unfortunately, I've only owned it for the last couple of months. I've not had it in the summer yet, but I'm looking forward to the warmer months so I can really wear this properly. Pacific Chill, another great fragrance from Louis Vuitton. I love Louis Vuitton. I think they're a fantastic fragrance house, albeit very expensive, of course. And the last fragrance on this sample order is Mancera French Riviera. I don't know what's happening to this fragrance recently because this has been so popular. I've sold so many samples of French Riviera over the last few weeks. I don't know if someone really popular has done a review on this. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's very popular and it's a great summer fragrance. Not one I would expect to sell so much in the winter. It's a really strong summer fragrance. It smells almost like the sea breeze. It's very musky, and what I mean by that is it smells like fresh laundry. You're taking out fresh white laundry sheets from the tumble dryer. That's how this sort of smells to me, with some added citruses, sea salt, ocean air breeze. That's how I sort of describe this. So if you're going on vacation somewhere this summer and you're going on the beach, a beach holiday, this is going to work fantastically well. And this has a great performance for a fresh citrusy fragrance. This smells great, and it's one of the only summery fragrances I've ever tried from Mancera, but very impressed with French Riviera. And like I said, it's incredibly popular at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to do this every day, just rating an order that comes into my store, because it gives me a chance to talk about some fragrances to you, and I hope you enjoy it. So let me know, out of these 6 fragrances, which one would you choose?